Now this sauce would want to make you dance like this.
One time for the birthday bitch.
Time for the birthday bitch.
Two times for the birthday.
2 times for the birthday bitch. 3 times for the birthday bitch. Fuck it up if it's your birthday.
And if that's you, I understand. So today we're making a Bolognese sauce. It's called Bolognese, not alla Bolognese.
How to make Bolognese sauce. Bolognese is written
Bolognese. Bolognese.
This Bolognese sauce is a multi-purpose sauce. It could be used with your pasta, just to eat your pasta with. It could be used for lasagna. It could be used for a baked ziti. Whatever that you want to do, if you make this meat sauce, you can use it for multiple different things that you want to cook. So we're going to do a meat sauce with 4 meats. We're going to do some bison. We're going to do some beef. We're going to do some pork. And we're going to do a secret meat that you will see in the video. Okay? So watch the video and let me know how you guys like this. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit a like on this video for the YouTube algorithm. Let's get into it. To make a good Bolognese sauce, you're going to need some good whole tomatoes, okay? I had a half a can of San Marzano tomatoes and a whole can of Roma tomatoes. So what you want to do is you want to put that in a separate bowl and you want to crush it with your hands. You can also crush this with the back of a spoon or whatnot, but I like this process, so the hands are the best utensils in my opinion, so I just crush them with my hands. If you have kids, get them involved and have them do it for you. Now in a separate pot, you're going to add some olive oil, extra virgin of course, and add some red onions. The red onions brings out the sweetness once you cook it, as opposed to a regular sweet onion or white onion. So I prefer red onions. You can use white onion or sweet onion if you want. And after like 10-15 minutes, you want to add your carrots and celery. Okay, you want to cook that for another 10 to 15 minutes before you add the salt, because you want to cook the vegetables down. You got the Holy Trinity going right here, and you want to cook all of this down. You're going to get all this beautiful flavors before you add some salt, and then add some garlic. Now, when you're making Bolognese sauce, it's very simple. It's about the aromatics, it's about the meat. Hence, we're adding some bison right here. It's about the meat and it's about the tomatoes, and that is it. There's no need to put parsley or anything else like that. I'm also adding some American Wagyu to this, and I'm also going to be adding some ground pork to this as well. But usually you can make this Bolognese sauce with pork, beef, and a little bit of veal. So usually the measurements goes like 2 portions of pork, 1 portion of beef, and half portion of veal. So right here I'm doing 2 pounds of ground pork right here, because I did 1 pound 1.25, so 1/4 of bison and 1 pound of beef. And bison and beef have different flavors, and pork has another flavor, so they're all getting together and harmoniously creating this nice flavor for this Bolognese sauce. And you can definitely add bison, because that's another wild game that's it has a really good flavor. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. And the secret ingredient right here that I'm adding is chicken liver. Okay, now in Bologna, where the sauce is from, they add chicken livers, but they cut them up into little pieces. And I know most people are not too fond of liver, so I crushed them with the food processor and add them to the meat. Now this will give a very unique flavor and taste to this Bolognese sauce that you don't have to add like other stuff like oregano and all of this nonsense that Bolognese sauce doesn't really have. So mix all the meat together and add some salt. You could always be tasting for salt, and add pepper also, and give them a good mix. And while that's cooking, you're gonna add 2 cups of wine. Okay, I'm adding red wine right here. You can add white wine also, but one of the important steps is you gotta let that wine cook for like 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. Add a little bit of pepper right there, sometimes 20 minutes, because the wine needs to evaporate before you add any tomato product. If not, it's gonna get acidic. So let the wine evaporate, and When it starts not smelling like wine, then you can add your tomato paste. Now right here, I'm adding double concentrated tomato paste. I'm also going to be adding some more paste later on because you have to taste this as you go. Now if this doesn't taste tomatoey, you're going to add some more later on, okay? And right here, I'm adding some tomato passata. This is tomato puree. You can get this at any Italian store. You can get this at Sprouts, Whole Foods, Safeway. Any American store will also carry this. So, and you can obviously you can get this online. You can get this on Amazon. And right here, I'm adding my whole peeled tomatoes that I crushed with my hands. If you have kids, please get them involved and have them crush it for you. It's a fun process for them. So go ahead and put that, mix that all up. And I was tasting it, and I was like, you know what? This needs a little bit more tomato paste. Let me add another can. It might seem like a lot to you, but like, you know, once you start tasting the sauce, you will know what I mean. It'll taste like a meat sauce, and good meat sauce have to have good tomatoes, and it has to have meat. So always check for salt and pepper. Okay, taste for that, because sometimes you need to add a little bit of salt. You're gonna cook this on low for like 2 hours, and once you cook, the fat's gonna bubble up from the meat, and it's gonna dry up a little. Once it dries up a little, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put 2 to 4 cups of hot water and let that cook for another 2 to 3 hours. Once it gets thicker like that, it's basically done, but not quite. So you add a glass of milk to finish it off and cook that for 10 to 15 minutes, and your Bolognese ragu is done. And what type of pasta should you use for this? I'm gonna let you know right now. So the best kind of pasta that I like to use for meat sauces, for Bolognese sauces, is pappardelle. Okay, tagliatelle is good too. You can also use some penne. Rigatoni is also fine. But do not use regular spaghetti, because it can't really capture the meat sauces. It can't complement your meat sauce. So if you want something to complement your meat sauce, get some pappardelle. You can get the fresh ones also. That's even better. But stick to this one. So just like I said, any pasta that can hold the sauce is what you want to use. Putting some rock salt right here for some boiling water, and then I'm adding the pappardelle. Now you can use tagliatelle, you can use penne, you can use rigatoni, even the fusilli pastas are good. Anything that can hold the sauce. Don't use spaghetti. The reason why a lot of people use spaghetti in America is because spaghetti is the most famous pasta in the world, and Bolognese sauce is the most famous sauce in the world, so they just put that together. But in reality, it doesn't really hold the Bolognese sauce. So to a pot, add some Bolognese sauce, you know, bring the heat to a medium, and then once it starts cooking, what you want to do is you want to drop in your pasta. Okay, I'm dropping in my pappardelle and giving it a nice mix. This sauce already has oil and everything else from the meats and the olive oil, so you don't need to add olive oil right here, and you don't need to add any type of herbs or anything like that, because we really want to taste the tomatoes and the meat in the sauce. So do not add any type of herbs or extra seasoning to this, because it does not need it. Plate that up, and you can definitely add some cheese. So I'm adding some pecorino romano, and my girlfriend, she gonna let you know how she likes it.
All right, taste this. Birthday girl. Mmm, so good. Yummy. Sweet. Oh my god, and it's like, it's so good. What else should I say?
It was so good, she didn't have no words to describe it, y'all. And of course, you can make some baked ziti. I made some baked ziti the next day. It looks beautiful and it's delicious. Even my daughter ate some with this pasta up, along with my mom. Hey man, if you like that video, hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be bringing you more videos. Until then, don't forget to feast with Pete.